to my channel. So today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Deluxe Class G2 Universe Shadowstrip. And of course, before we take a look at packaging, I know a lot of people are going to say in the comment section that this is a stolen copy. No, it is not. I got it from a legit toy site called Toy Arena. I was going to leave the link in the description down below, but unfortunately it is sold out as of right now. But if you want to, go search in Google Toy Arena. Maybe you'll be lucky and it'll come back in stock, so just check that. But of course, with all that out of the way, let's now get into the packaging. So of course we have Transformers on the side, the G2 Universe Shadowstrip text, we have the Legacy logo, a nice artwork shot of Shadowstrip with his blasters, we have the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection text, an open window displaying the figure in packaging. We do have a nice product shot of Shadowstrip with his blasters in the alt mode, and of course a nice artwork shot of him in his alt mode shooting his really cool blasters, and just a really continuation of the artwork on the side. On the back he transforms in 16 steps, two product shots, one of the robot and alt mode, and another artwork shot on this side of him running in battle, and that is pretty much for the packaging. So let's now get into the review. Here we have Shadowstrip in his robot mode. Let's take a look at the details, starting at the very top with that head sculpt, with some really nice metallic blue for the main helmet section, some red for the visor, and some glossy red for the face. Getting down to, of course, the side of the arms, really nice gold highlights in the inside of the tires, some black for the tires themselves, and this really nice checkered flag design done in gold and black, and of course some main black for the forearms, some nice darker gray for the inside of the forearms where the hand and elbow is. Of course, getting down to the chest, really nice gunmetal gray for this engine block section with some gold there, some gold stripes or streaks on the side of the chest, which looks pretty good, and of course for the main chest, really done in black, with some nice dark gray for the crotch and top of the legs. Getting down to the knee and legs, some nice gold there with some paneling detailing, some mechanical wiring detailing on the inside of the legs, and some more gold at the feet. And if you do go to the side, you can see some more of that flag gold design with some more gold highlights on the inside of the tire, which looks pretty good. And if you do go to the back, there is actually another engine block design on the back of the legs, which actually looks pretty good with some more mechanical wiring and detailing. And overall, pretty much kibble free. I know people don't like these wheels sticking out, but you really can't do much about that. I do have a complaint with the paint apps. I think they could have done some more gold, or maybe some of that metallic blue from the head. They could have put maybe some more on the front of the arm, because there is quite a bit of design on the side of the robot mode, but not a lot where the front of the arms are concerned, but that's just a minor nitpick. Let's now get down to articulation. So if you do have the Legacy Wave 1 drag strip, you know exactly what to expect here. So starting at the head and shoulders, you can actually move these pieces at more of an angle if you want to. The head can of course move down and up, side to side. The arm can move out and in, of course full rotation. There is an elbow bend to a very good degree. Unfortunately, no wrist swivel. There is a complete waist swivel, completely unhindered. The leg can kick that far forward, that far back. There is a knee bend, a swivel, and a very, very good ankle pivot. And of course, if you want to, you can actually do the full splits with the legs. So pretty standard articulation for a deluxe size figure. Again, if you have drag strip, you know exactly what to expect here. Let's now get down to the accessories, the exact same two that came with drag strip, done in this really nice silverish kind of metallic blue, which looks really good. Of course, it matches the paint apps from the head, so you can just plug these into his hands if you want to, which I think looks pretty cool, which is how I store them with drag strip, which I will bring out in just a sec for a comparison. And they are Blaster Piece compatible. I think it definitely would have looked better if there was some more blue on the arms or legs. I think that would have really looked good, but really nice weapons. And if you want to, one last feature with the weapons, you can actually combine them to make a full kind of double-barreled rifle, which I typically don't do, but there is two tabs and of course two slots. You can just align these into place like that, and then you can store these in his hand. And that is pretty much it for the accessories, but I actually kind of prefer the other look, so I'm going to separate these and put one in his hand for the other one. So they're a little bit more spread out, but a really nice option. So that is pretty much it for the robot mode. Let's now get into some comparisons. So first up here is G2 Shadowstrip with his Moldmates drag strip. So I do apologize if the lighting is all weird, because this one's a very light figure and this one's a very dark figure, so the lighting can be a bit challenging with these two figures, but as you can see mold-wise, they're the exact same thing. Head sculpt's the same, really just a complete deco makeover, and of course the accessories are the same. So which one do I prefer? Of the deco, I like drag strip more. He's actually my favorite Stunticon. But of all the tolerances, I actually have to say they did a better job with Shadowstrip. He has much tighter joints in pretty much any area. Not to say this figure is very loose, but just in comparison, much better tolerances. Of course, articulation is the exact same thing, but just from a side view, as you can see, of course, the exact same accessories and everything else. Let me know in the comment section down below which one do you like more, but I really do like the gold highlights. That's one that kind of makes me want to choose Shadowstrip over Dragstrip, but I really can't because Dragstrip is an amazing figure and he's definitely my favorite Stunticon of them all. But overall looking very cool next to each other. Let's now move on to one last robot mode comparison. Here he is with his Wavemate Crasher from Legacy Velocitron Wave 2. And I will review that figure very, very soon over on the channel. And between the two, of course, these are ones that I just got. I have to say I do prefer Shadowstrip over this Crasher figure, but that is just because I really like the mold. And I do highly recommend this figure whenever you can get him. And that's pretty much it for the comparison, so let's now get into transformation into the race. Let's now get down to transformation into the race car mode. So if you do have Dragstrip, it's the exact same transformation. So let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the arms. You're going to get these panels, rotate these forward and down, do the same thing. Of course, for the other arm, you can then collapse the wheel just like that, do the same thing on the other side. Then what you're going to do is get the whole chest piece and bring this down. So there is actually one area where it is unfortunately looser on this section here. It does tend to untab, so I do apologize if that untabs. You can just peg it right back on. I hope that is, of course, just my copy. Then you're going to fold in the head just like that. And then what you can do is get both shoulder sections and just untab these from the body. You can then get these pieces, hinge these forward just to complete the front of the car. And then, of course, both halves will tab together. As you can see, there is a tab here, and a slot and a slot. So you'll just tab both halves together in place like that. And then you're going to rotate this entire engine block, and then you're going to get this entire piece and move it back so it can fully collapse, which you just got to be careful because it could untab. And then speaking of tabs, there is tabs on this piece and of course slots on the side of the car, and just tab it together. And as you can see, of course, the entire front of the car is now complete. Now we're going to do the back section, so you just rotate at the waist. You can then bring up these whole back fin pieces. You can then open up the legs like that, and then you can tab the legs together. And then you're just going to collapse all this, compress these panels, and there we have G2 Shadowstrip in his vehicle mode, looking very, very cool. Let's take a look at the details. We have Shadowstrip in his race car mode. Let's take a look at the details. Starting at the right front, of course, with this big scoop section, we have some nice black on the side with some gold highlights there. Of course, going to the side here, we have this really nice, complete, almost flag design checkered black and gold pattern there, which looks really good with some gold highlights on the inside of the wheels. Unfortunately, they're a mushroom peg, which I wouldn't say is a deal breaker, but I kind of wish they weren't. And of course, some nice metallic blue on these sections here. Getting into, of course, the driver's seat, we have this really cool flame control pieces. Of course, it's actually the back of the head which becomes the seat, which I think is pretty clever with some more gold highlights on the side, with the huge engine block back there looking very good with that gold. And of course, all these sections here we can imagine being having flames popping out, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if these are plastic piece compatible, but you could try that for yourself if you want to, with some really nice piping going back to the huge fin or spoiler piece, which looks pretty cool, done in gold and black. These are actually the feet, so again, a very clever place to put all these pieces. And overall, a very slender looking car, and I think it actually looks super cool from the side, and it rolls very, very well with 3 wheels on each side. Overall, a very cool looking race car mode. Let's now get into, of course, the accessory storage the exact same way as Dragstrip. So there is 2 ports and, of course, a peg for each blaster, so you just wiggle that into place. Of course, the same thing on the other side. So there we have the complete look, which I really do like, that nice metallic blue that actually looks super nice with all the black and gold around it. That actually looks super cool. Let's now get into some race car comparisons. So here is Dragstrip, and of course with Shadowstrip, both molds together. And of the vehicle mode, I actually prefer this deco over Dragstrip. That's just my personal opinion. I love the gold and blue and all the black. That actually looks super, super cool. But mold-wise, they are the exact same thing. Of course, the accessories end up the same place. Really just down to your personal preference of deco. But overall, looking very, very cool next to each other. Let me know in the comments which one do you prefer of the two. You might be like me, where I prefer Dragstrip's robot mode, but I actually prefer the alt mode of Shadowstrip's a little bit over Dragstrip. So, kind of mixed bag between the two, but that's just my personal opinion. And now one more race car comparison. Here is Shadowstrip with Crasher, which again, review coming very soon on the channel. Of course, I do have the accessories attached on there, but yeah, looking very cool next to each other. And I'm actually very excited to find out the next Deluxes of Wave 2. Really looking forward to those. And that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. I do want to quickly show how he is compatible with Minosaur, so let's go. I want to show you one last thing before we get into the final thoughts for Shadowstrip. So he's actually compatible with Minosaur or Motormaster. So if in this situation you might not have Dragstrip yet, you can actually get Shadowstrip and pretty much fill in his place for the Stunticon Commander. Of course, it's the exact same arm, and of course the exact same conversion, so you're just going to get those pegs, and of course the ports on the bottom of Shadowstrip here, and just align them all into place like this, and then you're just going to split it in half, which can be a bit challenging. So just split it in half, and of course fold this down, tab that in, do the same thing for the lower arm, tab that in, tab this in, and then you can collapse the wheels there, and then of course just fold these panels down just like that. And there we have, of course, the arm fully complete with Shadowstrip on, and if you want to, you can add the accessories having them face down like this, which is a pretty cool feature. So just have these face down like that, and then we can bring out Minosaur, slide that on there, and there we have Shadowstrip on him, which looks pretty cool. I unfortunately don't have the other arm yet, but I hopefully will be able to get him soon. I'm pretty sure it's a dead end, so that overall looks pretty cool. And of course, most likely I won't ever really do this, but it's a nice feature if you want to kind of switch them up a little bit. Rumor is we might get the other Stunticons in their G2 version, so we can have pretty much two sets of the Stunticons, the Classic and the G2, which I think is a pretty cool idea, and that would be really nice to have in the collection. But overall, really nice feature, and that is finally pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Let's now get into the final thoughts of Transformers Legacy Velocitron Shadowstrip. Let's now get down to the final thoughts for the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Deluxe Class Shadowstrip. Starting in the robot mode, I actually really do like all the gold highlights on the tires, and I really do like this nice checker kind of flag pattern on the side that actually looks really good. Unfortunately, the wheels are mushroom peg, but you really can't do anything about that. I think the gold kind of does distract for them, so that does help. I also really do like the nice giant engine block in the back, done with all that mechanical detailing in gold. That actually looks super cool. And I really do like the nice metallic blue for the weapons. It actually does match the driver's seat, which is the back of the head. Also these sections here, and I think that definitely really does pop. I can understand why some people might not like the blue, because it's kind of an odd color to match with the black and gold, but personally I really do like it. And I also really do like matching the giant engine block, having giant flames just shooting out of it whenever he's charging in a battle. I'm not really sure if those are Blaster Piece compatible, but that'd be super cool if they were. Also, of course, the figure does actually roll very well with having 6 wheels. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Also, down to, of course, transformation, it is pretty simple. You know, of course, exactly the same as Dragstrip. Even if you don't have that figure, I would say you need the instructions 1-2 times tops. Very simple, really just kind of fold everything together. Pretty fun, and it's actually okay that it's simple, because, you know, some figures you just want to pick up and easily transform and not have a big challenge to do. It's one of those easy figures you can just transform whenever you want. Getting down to, of course, the robot mode, really like the head sculpt, of course, no mold change, same accessories, same head sculpt, but I actually really do like the nice metallic blue for the main helmet section. It actually looks really nice and looks good with the dark red for the visor and face. And of course the black looks pretty good with all the gold over it. I do kind of wish maybe there was some more paint ups on the front of the arm, because there is actually quite a bit of detail on the side of the figure, like on the side of the legs and the arms, because actually this design here is kind of split between the legs and the arms. So that does look good on the side of the arms, but on the front of the arms they're actually pretty bare, really just done with the black and gray. So it'd been nice maybe if they took some of that metallic blue or maybe some of that gold and put it there. I think that would have looked a little bit better, but that is just a minor complaint. And of course, down to articulation, pretty good for a deluxe size figure. Of course, waist rotation, really good ankle pivots. Everything is pretty good. I think the head articulation could be a little bit more. It does look up and down a little bit, but unfortunately no tilt side to side, really just a swivel side to side, but that's just a minor complaint. I think it's just that way because, of course, due to transformation, there's those big shoulder sections there. And I know some people do have a problem with the wheels kind of sticking out the back of the arm. Personally, it doesn't bother me because I actually used to have the Combiner Wars version of Dragstrip. I know this isn't Dragstrip, but it's the same mold, but I used to have that version. It was not that good, so honestly, this version and Dragstrip are 10 times better than that previous Dragstrip figure. Overall, really cool. I also really do like how this is actually compatible with Minosaur or Motormaster. If you didn't see that section of the video, make sure you go rewatch that. So you can actually, if you don't have Dragstrip, pretty much just get this figure instead if you want to, and actually fill in his place for the Combiner, fill in his place for that arm. And it's super cool. Of course, same everything. You really just, you know, put it on the arm, split it in half, and it forms the arm, which I think looks pretty cool. Of course, the color match will be a little bit off because he's gold and blue, not nearly as normal colors as Minosaur and the other Stunticons, but I think it's still pretty cool how that is compatible like Dragstrip was. But overall, a really good figure. I do highly recommend whenever you can get it. Of course, this is a Walmart exclusive. I got it from a toy site. This was not a stolen copy. I have to say that again. I don't want people, you know, being mad at me in the comments like I stole this. No, I didn't. Got it from a toy site. It was a little overpriced, but honestly, I think it was worth it. So if you find this, highly recommend it. Of course, don't pay extreme scalper prices. I paid about $5 over, and that was it. I think that's definitely worth $5 over if you're getting it this early. So definitely recommend the figure. Of course, hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know in the comment section down below which version of this mold you like more, Shadowstrip or Dragstrip. And of course, the Crasher review is coming very, very soon. And of course, stop motion for this figure will be coming soon on the channel as well. And that's pretty much it. So I'll see